that Leo style, this is a hero he's very, very comfortable with. I mean, most mid players, right, are very comfortable with the spirits, but also Moose plays an excellent Dark Willow. So I have a feeling we will see them most likely pair up, try to make that space for Minos, because like you said, if it gets to, you know, a certain point in this game, this Phantom Lancer is just going to become way too large to have to deal with. So very interested to see, you know, how aggressive we're going to see, again, coming out from South America. That is something that they're known for. They kind of took over from CIS at a certain point, because CIS has slowed down quite a bit, but also they've become a lot more surgically adapted to finding those right moments instead of just brawling constantly.
Yeah, it's become more, like, historically speaking, if you go back, I don't know how far we need to go back down, like maybe 5 years or maybe even 3 is enough, but CIS had this reputation of being just, I don't want to say caveman Dota, but like really, we're just going to fight. It's
a bloodbath.
Yeah, exactly. Without thinking too much about the macro strategic part of the game. And I think SA has also had those phases. But I'd say overall, globally now, we're at a point where all of the regions are playing with more tactical depth. And that's really good to see, because you're only going to get so far with killing enemy heroes if you don't keep your eyes on the big picture. And that's, to me, that is the biggest reason why CIS and SA started getting better results, especially the old VP that started winning majors, the solo, No One, and Ramses VP, was largely because they started getting a better tactical understanding.
As we heard earlier, this is just an awful lane to have to play against, especially as a melee hero. Leo Style is going to struggle. Is it going to be so bad, though? Because this is a hero that doesn't necessarily want to sit in lane and farm. It's going to, you know, get that level 6 and possibly, you know, hopefully get a Rune of Opportunity and be able to leave the lane, whereas GPK is most likely going to want to sit, farm a bit, maybe use his small camp as well and stack.
Leaving the lane to make moves is largely dependent on having something to move with. I think this is a heavily Viper-favored lane. If GPK plays it well, Leo Style will be slowed down from all the denies and having to buy extra regen, that it will be difficult for him to make moves. But it is what he needs to do. He needs to find the levels, he needs to find whatever farm he can, and then look to be aggressive elsewhere. Because he's never going to kill this Viper. Like, theoretically, you could gank this with the Willow, but even then, that's not a guaranteed or a safe kill. So I think you're better off playing around your teammates instead of them coming to you. Great start here for PL, by the way, worth noting. Nightfall is getting basically free farm in the bottom lane right now, together with the Phoenix of... Wait, who's playing the Phoenix? It's not Save, right, in this game? No, it is Kingslayer.
No, Save is playing the Lina.
Save is Lina. Oh, of course. He plays Phoenix too. It's one of the things that VP are really strong at, I think. They have multiple heroes that are very, very flexible for them. They have flexible support players. The Magnus that they pick, they play on all 3 cores. I think Save has even played it in the past in some games. So, a lot of options. DM?
Yeah, Minos is having a bit of trouble here in the top lane. He's getting constantly harassed, and everyone tells me, like, having this position for Lina just constantly hit you is
annoying.
Absolutely annoying, because what can you do? You really can't do anything.
No.
You just want to hit creeps, and you're just constantly going to be harassed. One thing I do like, and I noticed that both of the teams did do this, is they were trying to secure up runes. We saw some movement coming out in that bottom lane. You could see that Moose and Nightfall were both trying, but...
MNZ is not favored in this trade. He's going to lose eventually. Even though that Fiery Soul has been nerfed, it's still more than enough in this fight. He could actually die. He's dead, I think.
Most likely.
He's dead.
Yep, there he is. There we go. But I think also, considering the amount of harass that Minos has been taking, is that worth it to be able to draw the attention of the Lina? Oh, well, I mean, if he dies here, obviously not.
No.
But
some games you can make a case that it's okay to die for space, right? Or there's plenty of situations where that's the case, but support dying to another support solo for first blood is not one of those cases.
Okay.
You just gave, was it 320 gold over to the Lina on that kill? She's going to accelerate toward faster arcane boots, and that is going to put that much more pressure on the map. It's going to allow her to farm up and get stronger later. And support Lina, one of the things about this hero that's so incredible is if you have a good game, you can kind of like mimic a core under the right conditions, either with the spellcasting or the right-clicking build. We've seen both on position 4 Linas. Aghanims is incredible against Terrorblade, for example.
Yeah.
Low HP hero with high armor.
It's definitely Save, too, and Save likes to go greedy if he's given that room, so you can be sure that he will be taking his options very seriously.
it is a very good Lina game from my perspective. The only thing you're truly terrified of if you have good positioning is the Void Spirit. If you stay out of arena, you're relatively safe most of the time. And if the enemy team goes on you, you're basically setting up for an amazing team fight with Mag Phoenix. So
Frank's sitting very low here. Looks like he's going to die. And Kingslayer's going to be able to flap those little wings and get away. But I mean, yeah, you know, you also consider the fact that DM is on the Magnus. That is a great hero for him. When we think of Magnus players, I think of DM and I think of Collapse most recently that they've been playing. So.
Oh, good shockwave into stun combo here and the skewer.
Right back again. I'm not sure if MJZ is going to be able to keep MNZ alive for long enough. No, might actually end up paying for this with his own life. In fact, he will, but has managed to keep MNZ alive. He has to be careful though. Save is on the hunt. He's hoping that he's going to get lucky here with the LSA, and he does manage to connect with that shockwave. One more hit, and that is a dead Terrorblade.
What in the blazes?
They're just running them over in this top lane. And I can't say I'm too surprised because they are favored matchup-wise. And if there's one thing VP, in my opinion, are really good at, it's exploiting lane advantage. That's probably one of the biggest skill sets of these players, is the identifying when they're stronger and then getting the full value out of it. They're not settling for out-farming here, which actually isn't really happening anyway, but they're just finding kills. That was their third kill in the top lane in 5 minutes. Has Save got all of them, which you might be like, it's a shame that they're not on a core. I actually think getting streaks on 4 Lina is really good. If I could choose for that lane, I would rather give Lina the kills than the Mag. He's going to find the farm anyway, and Lina just benefits so much from finding those mana boots. Another kill bottom. Yeah, they're just losing all 3 lanes. That's all there is to it. It might look like Terrorblade is doing better top because he's 300 gold ahead of Magnus, but then you look at Alina who's 1,200 gold ahead of the Abaddon. So all 3 lanes being crushed by VP, I think is fair to say. And the only hero in this game that is kind of at the level it would like to be currently for Thunder Predator is the Terrorblade, who unfortunately can't really make space as a hero for his team. He will need to go jungle sometime soon, and then somebody else needs to step up to the plate and get moves done.
I was going to ask, when do you think is the appropriate time for Minos to just give up on this lane and head off to the jungle? And they did rotate up moves now, so it looks like they're going to try to help secure him that farm a bit more. I'm not sure I like this move, though.
No, same. I don't think this is the right approach. I think you put Terrorblade in the jungle, you park Abaddon up here, and then you play your Dark Willow around your Void Spirit and Mars, who are the 2 heroes that you have a realistic kill potential with. Bringing Willow up here, now Willow's just going to sit there, and Frank's game is going to be miserable. He'll be playing a level 4 Mars against a level 6 PL with free farm, almost level 7. He can actually beat him alone as PL. He can just constantly harass him, run at him, take advantage of his farming lead, and Phoenix is free to do whatever. Or you could leave the Phoenix solo bottom and send the PL jungle, and that way you farm on both of them, you maximize the map. Mars will in turn get a little bit more space that way. Oh, fortunate spear there. I don't know if he was going for that. He actually cut the Icarus dive. That's a death for sure.
Yeah, Leo's looking for a kill. Quick pickoff over on Kingslayer. And they needed to do this. They needed to let Frank get some more comfort in that lane because obviously, you know, Nightfall's having way too good of a time down there.
Yeah.
And for Thunder Predator to be able to really have presence in this game, they need that level 6 online for the Mars.
They do. And yeah, Mars and Willow and Void Spirit, those are the 3 heroes to watch. You can bring the Terrorblade potentially if you want to turn into a tower push. You can bring him in a smoke bottom. But outside of that, I think he's just mode jungle for the next 10 minutes. And that's a little bit worrisome when you look at what you're facing, right? Your core matchup is not good. PL is traditionally a good counter against Terrorblade, and you're also playing against the hard BKB lockdown of Magnus that you will never be able to counter out entirely.
Okay, this is
arena, though.
They just got the 6 online, so it looks like Kingslayer is going to be able to get taken down, and now Nightfall is forced to run. So they're hunting for him. They put the Curse Crown down. Frank, everybody's just funneling through the trees. Nightfall, though, he's pretty fast, but eventually that Curse Crown will connect the LSA, but no, the spear over into the tree. They'll be able to clean up on the Phantom Lancer.
Great punish. They're very fast, identifying that, okay, they're out of position. I'm going to arena here, and we bring in the Void Spirit. Very, very good from Thunder Predator. This is the kind of stuff they need. It's the right heroes that are in the right time, right place this time. And I think Willow's level 6 is also going to help them have some more flexibility here, because they're going to be able to, obviously, Arena into Terrorize, the classic combo. Having the damage on Bedlam will allow Willow plus Void Spirit or Mars to kill basically any hero in the game right now, I think. Maybe except PL, who can potentially disengage. Okay. Wants to... Alright, Kingslayer's testing out if his keyboard works. It does. The S key is working.
He's having a good time over there. You can tell, for sure. It's not having a great time is this Terrorblade, but also they did spot out the stacks. They've been putting some really nice stacks together, I'm guessing, you know, for the Magnus, for the Viper even, who can take them.
Yep.
So that is something that, you know, Thunder Predator has to be careful of, because, you know, this Viper's having a very nice time. He's got Boots of Travel already online, and he is going to become a very big threat. And in fact, look at this. Look at the way that they're rotating together. They're most likely going to be taking some of these stacks and just making sure that they can deny them from Thunder Predator.
Probably going to see a triple stack on Ancients here that will stay for a while. You will either want PL to farm this together with Magnus, or just Magnus to do it alone. Oops.
Oh, they blocked the camp, though. Oof.
Very uncharacteristic mistake there coming out from Kingslayer. Actually ends up blocking the big camp on that pull. And Viper's going to go into the enemy jungle. And this top tower, if DM gets to take this completely on his own and nobody's even up defending this, you bet Thunder Predator are looking for a trade bottom. They've over-rotated in a way, you could say. They have 4 heroes down here. This needs to be hit earlier than this. They might get it regardless because they've brought this many numbers, but from an efficiency standpoint, you brought 4 heroes to take a tower and the enemy team brought 2. So the rest of the heroes are free to move, which means they could be ganking, they could be farming, they could be stacking. Currently just sitting to put pressure on a secondary lane here in mid with the siege creep from minute 10 connecting in as well. This is a big wave mid, and Thunder Predator actually have to deal with this.
There it is. There's the egg with the break. That's just no hope at all for MNZ, as he is the first person to get taken out.
Quick piggy.
Yeah, he's got a little piggy here with DM. Curse Crown, though, coming out from Moose. They've got the Sun Ray over here on the side, because Leo Styles joining into the fight. He wants another kill over onto Kingslayer. Slayer trying. Nice LSA coming through. They'll get Kingslayer. There's the Laguna coming out, though, and now he's stuck over onto the side of the wall. Save will fall.
This is still really good for VP. They do end up losing their tower, but they killed Terrorblade in the push. PL got a full tier 1 mid on his own. With just that siege creep wave. And they end up trading basically evenly in the fight. So that's, in my book, a huge win to get that mid tower for sure. And you really saw the price that Thunder Predator pay for coming down to bottom lane too late. When the Magnus and Viper together are able to push the top tower for this long before the counterplay comes in, we're maybe going to see it here in the replay, right? So you're going to... This tower would have been gone 10 or 15 seconds earlier if they had been more decisive to be down here with the siege creep earlier on. And in the meantime, in the top lane, you see the tower's already been broken from VP. So the rotation from them, it's very easy for them to feel good about TPing down to defend and take a fight. They have the pressure mid. They've already accomplished their top objective. And yeah, the rest here is just spell casting, right? Thunder Predator doing a good job at shutting down the right heroes, but from a macro perspective, this is still a clear VP victory on the map.
And this Phantom Lancer, I believe, is very, very close, if not already, has picked up this defeat. In fact, it's being sent out right now.
Yeah.
So excellent timing here for...
12 minutes. Very, very good time.
For Nightfall. And that's going to be very, very problematic for a lot of these heroes. There's a little harass coming out from Kingslayer. It says, stay away. Don't bother my core. We're busy. And the Magnus keeps using the piggy pole. He's having a great time over there.
I think it's about time to clean up those stacks. They chose not to quad stack them there. The Kingslayer could have stacked this one more time. But maybe they feel like it's going to be too difficult to deal with. I think Magnus Viper or Magnus PL, probably with Empower on both of them, could clear it up. But that's safe for later. They're going to try to invade instead, looking for Terrorblade. He is, however, playing in the top half of the map. So all they're going to get here is a bit of vision. If Kingslayer has an obs ready, which he will place here. Interesting position to place it a little bit there behind the tree. It doesn't fully overlook the ancient camp now. It will overlook movement. If you place that a little bit more on the left, it can see the camp being farmed, but also more likely to be found by the standard sentries. So opting for the value of that. I think if he had placed that a little bit more to the right, it would honestly just be a slightly better ward. Then it could have the diagonal line into the ancient camp if you move that like 100 range, right? I think the same sentries will usually find it, but there might be something I'm unaware of here with this ward.
I will say that VP is usually very, very good with the way that they place their vision, because a lot of the times in the games that I'm watching, they're always just a slight bit off from being able to find it with the sentry. So perhaps it's just a tried and true. It's kind of awkward.
It very much
gives them
could
enough
be.
information if they want to try to push the bottom tower at some point, or just to see anyone who's trying to farm that general area. But it could be more efficient, like you said.
Can always. That's the thing about Dota. You can always do better. You can always do better.
Oh,
All right, here comes the smoke from... Oh, that broke from Thunder Predator. VP know what's up.
Still go in on this?
They're
waffling.
They can't go in like this. They're going to give it up. It's a tough attack angle to find. Kingslayer's just covering that path in, and as soon as he breaks the smoke, he can choose if he wants to dive out or just stay and give vision. And this invasive maneuver from Thunder Predator not successful. Ideally, they find a move around mid. Oh.
Well, they've gone fishing and they found themselves MJZ. So with that break applied.
You saw him smiling there? He's like, he starts TPing out after he got skewered, but he's standing in the Viper break. So now he has to choose, do I activate my ulti manually and break my TP, or do I die?
I think he just died.
Very awkward situation there. And that TP is completed if he doesn't get broken, because there were no more stuns there. But with that break, the ulti not going off, I think that might be the first time I have seen this exact situation where he specifically dies while TPing out because of break, not because of a stun. This is a pretty rare situation.
DM wants moves here. Immediately Shadow Realm. Gonna just try to teleport out, but not going to be successful there. So see that replay again, like you're talking
so
about.
Obviously, Abaddon's ultimate borrow time procs passively when you reach 400 HP or less on level 1, except if you're broken, because then your passive doesn't work. You can still manually use it. It's like, oh man.
Dang it.
But if you manually use it, you cancel your TP channel, so he's dead no matter what there. Very good kill here from Thunder Predator finding the Viper. It is going to cost them. Frank is 100% dead here, but they do get Leo style out. Still overall, bit concerned for Thunder Predator in this game that the PL's just getting too big. They have done nothing to stop him whatsoever. He had a great laning stage. He's transitioning well into the mid game, and with the Radiant positioning that VP have, you imagine it's just a matter of time before they start thinking about Roshan as a play. Could make a good smoke and then maybe open that up. I think they don't have any Medallion in their lineup right now, and nobody's actually queued it up. So perhaps Roche is a little bit far away. They're not the best team at killing him. But if nothing else, as long as VP are progressing their game plan and PL keeps farming and the other team doesn't get the Roche, I don't think they're too bothered by it. They don't need Aegis to win this game. They just need to not play against it as much as possible.
When did DMRP?
That's a good question. Did he fail an RP top when Viper got jumped?
I don't know. We were watching the replay, I believe.
Hasn't been that long. No, it's 30 seconds ago. Maybe he was pump faking it for fun and actually used it. I don't know.
I mean, they have a good time, these guys. They get a little wacky.
Not sure how that happened.
But I just noticed that. I was like, have we seen like an actual RP just yet? And then I realized it was on cooldown.
Well, oops.
We didn't. We still have not seen an RP, even if it was used, I think. But yeah, you know, they feel very confident over on the side of VP. They've got all the time in the world, it feels like, because this Phantom Lancer is, of course, you know, like 2,000 gold ahead of the Terrorblade. And this is a matchup which Terrorblade does not enjoy, especially playing from behind.
For sure. It's something to keep in mind, like Kyle was talking about it with the dynamic of second pick, right? And of course he was misquoting me as he usually does and lying.
He does for everyone, though.
You know, yeah. At least he's consistently misrepresenting other people.
Right. It's not targeted.
Right. But yeah, that's the thing about second pick in this patch is the amount of counter picks that this position gets as phase closers. In the previous patch, the way it worked was that the trade-off for getting the ultimate last pick of the draft, which many would consider the single best pick you have because there's no counter, right? The trade-off was that you were behind in the other two phases. But now, the second pick team arguably is also ahead in the second phase because they get to close that one out too. So when the cores start getting picked, such as in this game where you see, oh, the cores are Mars Terrorblade, now we can counterpick that with a PL, and then we also get to counterpick the mid hero in the end with the Viper, right? So I think in this patch, I'm a bit concerned that the pick order is just 2 second pick favored.
Okay, well that's a big pick off right off the start here over on save. MJZ is taking so much damage. Minos trying to find this opening, is just getting attacked with the go forward with the RP, forward with the skewer. They'll take down MJZ as well. And now Leo Style is forced to run away as that egg is completed from Kingslayer. And if he got too close, would have been stunned. So beautiful fight here for Virtus.Pro. And again, this Terrorblade is just struggling too hard here to stay alive and be a part of this.
It's a really hard TB game. I think I'm trying to imagine what you should itemize as Terrorblade in this game, right? If you get a lot of health, there's still so much magic damage, and just from the Lina, Phoenix, and Viper combined, the magic damage is there. You also need to deal with the PL with his mana burn and everything, and BKB gets countered by RP. Yep, we're gonna
he was looking for it, but Leo Style jumping forward, has the silence. Can he finish off a GPK? No, they're still gonna be able to grab the Aegis, put it over onto Nightfall, as they'll lose Leo Style. GPK sitting so incredibly low here, rather. It's a courier that got taken, my bad here. Nightfall finding the kill on MJZ. We've got quite the split fight. Taunt being pulled back in with Kingslayer. Leo Style trying to just be as elusive as possible.
Radiant's courier has been
Does not have a TP on him though, has to be very careful. He's gonna hide in the tree line. VP looks like they're not willing to take that, take the bait and try to hunt for him. They're just gonna immediately go and focus on objectives.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
MNZ
Dire's
trying to
top
juke around here. Does have Frank nearby. Save. Stepping over. Throws out the Dragon Slave. I'm not sure why they're... I guess they do have moves in position off to the side, but
top tower has fallen.
I'm not sure what they would gain from playing bottom and possibly taking that.
I still think Thunder Predator's move in this game, it has to come from finding a pick around the mid area and getting the mid tier 1. The map has just been too closed in on them for too long, but it is very difficult with how VP are playing. They're playing very aggressively, they're taking positions, they're letting PL play what he wants, and the rest of them are grouped up and ready to fight, as they're going to find an easy kill here on Frank. Just throwing out the Viper Strike and a little bit of extra damage from Alina Stun, and that's all it takes in a skewer.
They're already ready to go again here. We've got that little piggy pole though.
Ghost
Moose is trying. MJZ is also trying to keep him alive. There is a lot of VP coming in, and look at this, they're gonna go right for this bit of a dive here over onto Moose. They know that the rest of the team is standing nearby. Not quite enough damage though to take down this Dark Willow just yet, as Nightfall is rocking right into the base. Leo Style trying to get a pick over on the back end, but it has to be careful because they will end up losing Moose. Nice LSA coming through, Laguna Blade, and that's a dead Leo Style. His first death, actually, believe it or not.
Yep. He's been, I think he's done a pretty good job in the fights at, you know, getting his damage out, but also playing it safe. He is playing against a lot of traps. Like if you run out of escapes here, you can get stunned by an LSA with the Ether Lens, you can get skewered, you can get RP'd. Even getting Viper struck actually sucks for Void Spirit when you're out of escapes, because I mean, obviously any hero hates being slowed down to a crawl. So he can't really full commit, because I think in this game Thunder Predator have never truly been ahead in a single team fight, so he can't really go in and burst everything he's got. So yeah, he's done a good job surviving, but that time around didn't cut it, got caught off. And now 10k gold lead for VP. Honestly, just been ahead in all stages of the game. They won the lanes, they won the early fights, they got the Roche, they got the towers. Just been out playing them at every turn, and this is a bit of a scouting mission. That was never gonna work.
Nope, it was very optimistic for sure. Did manage to get, 5 heroes to chase him, but, VP just happened to be in the neighborhood. It wasn't like they were hunting him actively, so I think they're quite happy with that.
It seemed like he wanted to go down and get some sort of vision out to try to open up the area.
They're pinging. Did they see him? Skew forward, LSA. Another Laguna Blade. This is not looking good for Frank here. He's trying to run, but he's just slow. Too slow. Name of the game just seems to be all the slows and stuns right now from VP. And we're going to have a heart on this Phantom Lancer soon. Nightfall is massive.
He is super farmed.
Still has an Aegis as well.
He's just going to solo this tower. It's hard for Thunder Predator to try to defend this tower in general. And I love this from VP, right? They just leave the PL to solo push this tower, and the other 4 of them are grouping up. So this way, they get that bottom tower, they defend the top area, and they threaten. So they are the ones dictating every move. They're forcing the rotations. And he feels so safe, right? Like, the Dire lineup's ability to kill PL twice is almost non-existent. They're going to get started here, but, like, come on.
Well,
He's
like,
just going to
look-
turn around and fight them 1v3. Like,
I mean,
he
look
doesn't
how
care.
tight they play around each other, though, too. He's got the rest of his team. I think this is going to sound silly, but I think one of the ways that they might end up having to kill Nightfall is if they get a very lucky Sunder at this point.
Yeah, it is reaching that point where they actually do need something like that. Their damage is just not...
It's not there.
It's not there. It's Terrorblade who can deal damage in their lineup. Void Spirit has an axe, he has this bit of Magic Burst, but he needs to chew through 3,400 health on a PL. It's not there. It's Terrorblade or bust, but you know, it's still a PL with, what was it, 22 armor, so even Terrorblade's damage is not sufficient. And no matter how you look at it, in this game, Thunder Predator just didn't hit their timing with their lineup. They have heroes that can get strong around those level 6s, and they found 1 or 2 moves, but nothing major. They've managed to only get 1 tower. Right? MJZ will get Yuled.
Yeah, he's
That
trying
happened to him last time as well. I'm not sure.
Hopeful.
All right.
Hopeful. He's, you know that Lina has a Yules at this point.
Laguna for fun.
Girls just want to have fun, Sin.
Yep.
But no, I mean, it's just looking very difficult. And I mean, on the bright side, right, you do have the BKB picked up now for your Terrorblade, but you still have to be concerned about DM with the RP, because if you can get that lockdown, it's just not going to make any difference that you have Sunder.
I think, so I'm not a carry player, right? But I'm trying to imagine the mindset of a carry player. The hardest games are the ones where, you know, most carry players, when they have their favorite heroes, they maybe have like 2 or 3 favorite builds. They go, you know, there's like build-up orders that they're comfortable with, that they know what to do with. The hardest games have to be the ones where you need all of your builds at once, right?
Right.
This feels like one of those games. You need all the stats so that you're competitive. You need probably some sort of Chrysalis so that you can win the fights, or a Daedalus, of course. And you also need BKB because there's too many problems. There's too much magic damage, there's stuns. So you need to tick all of these boxes with your build that it kind of feels like you need to be an item ahead, but you're an item behind. Like, I can't tell you on the spot what the best Terrorblade item build is this game, because I see weakness in all of them. That's the problem. If you go for the Manta Skadi or SNY Skadi that is very popular, you're just exposed to dying to Sunray, Lina Viper, and you get caught in an RP and die. With a BKB, you don't die in the RP necessarily anymore, because now it's only really the PL that's going to kill you, but it comes at the expense of farming speed. Now you went BKB second item, so you're farming less, and in all other situations than specifically a team fight, this is just an inferior build. So, I don't know, I think you just have to fight now. Like, now you're committed. You bought your second item BKB, take the fight, crash and burn, either it goes well or you lose, but if you use this BKB to now start farming the map, then what was the point?
Right. We will have to see what the plan is here right now for Thunder Predator, because they have to be feeling a bit desperate at this rate. We are seeing a 15k net worth lead currently, and VP has just controlled the entire map. I think they've managed to take the 1 tower bottom over on the side of Thunder Predator,
yep.
which does not bode well. And this is, again, we've talked about, this is not a matchup that Terrorblade likes to do. Terrorblade does not have a TP as they're walking into the base. This is a little bit worrisome here.
I think if there's one thing this team would have down, it would be to have TPs. It's literally their name. You gotta...
Well, maybe they have the other type of TP, you know?
I guess so.
But yes, you'd think that they'd have it. But you will see some of them, they're making their way over. Perhaps he just doesn't feel confident enough to join in on this fight. It's a very ambitious TP over here on the side. Look at how they immediately just cut down all the trees. Luckily, it is, of course, Leo style. He is a hero that is more difficult to lock down, but immediately gets Viper struck. Moose is trying everything he can here, just throwing out the brambles, just trying to get them off of these buildings. But again, you don't see MNZ making his way over here.
I think the call is
Are
to
they just
concede
sacking
one.
it?
They're sacking one lane. He does have TP ready. He could connect here if he wanted to, but they think this is impossible.
Yeah, Moose has already left. Like, he's just piggy walking over to MNZ.
Okay, so I could understand if you didn't want to try to defend this tower if you were specifically fighting into Aegis and that would expire, right? But your conditions are not getting better. You just gave up the lane. The PL did not have Aegis. If he had Aegis, you know, peace be with that. You're like, okay, we're going to have a better chance later. But that was not a part of that decision at all. So what are you waiting for? Like, what's the item that will change everything that was worth losing Elena Barracks over? Is it the Terrorblade Butterfly? He almost has it. He's going to get it now, MNZ, so maybe that's what they're holding on to. That they need that damage item. He's got it now. It's a lot of evasion. His Butterfly as well as the Elven Tunic.
They do pick up the Sange now for the Void Spirits. They have the Sange on Kaya, a little bit of that status resistance.
Yep.
Not obviously, you know, game breaking, but oh my goodness, DM, he scouts them up, he uses the RP, he grabs both of them up, and they will just obliterate moves and burst down Frank. Both of them, of course, do have buyback, and that might be necessary, but a nice quick pick there for the side of VP.
I'm actually surprised he's going bottom with Viper. I think they could have looked to high ground here, but oh.
I mean, they found themselves another victim as MJZ. Okay, this time maybe no, the
I was gonna
Yules
say
again.
this time.
Maybe Save wasn't looking closely enough, but
Surely this time he doesn't try to TP out.
well, at least this time he got to actually have his ultimate, you know.
Yeah, that's
whatnot,
true.
but he's still very dead.
And this time Lina wasn't in vision, so there was a chance that she was somewhere else, not able to cancel it, but that was kind of like a broken record. That was the third time in a row.
Insanity is doing the same thing over
Really
and over.
good RP here from
expecting
DM.
result.
Almost max range on both heroes. They do mistime the LSA a little bit, but
They get the job
irrelevant.
done. Looking pretty pleased with himself. They are giving a little bit of breathing room here. Thunder Predator have smoked up. They're looking to see if they can make some sort of play, maybe regain their triangle. And they've got those Phantom Lancer illusions over as well. But do have the Ags completed now for the Lina, which is very, very scary. And it's almost as scary as a double damage Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. There's not much to say, really. Thunder Predator still have to show a fight. They haven't really tried a team fight, it feels like, for 10 minutes now after getting their key items, and
Okay.
I just want to see it.
Do they?
I think it's fine to wait until the DDPL is gone. That might be a good
True. Do you see how fast they smoked up over on the side of VP as well to
Yeah.
just start making their moves? Because they're probably getting lulled into a false sense right now, right? They just only see Nightfall. DM getting into position with the horn right back. Again, MNC, he pops the BKB though. He's going to try to fight here. But the Laguna comes through, so it doesn't even matter. Kingslayer will go down. DM, though, does get picked off here by Leo. GPK is still looking, seeing whoever he can grab. They found themselves the Dark Willow, the Disarm. MJZ, he's trying. It's still not going to connect with those DPs to go home. So over on the back lines, Leo still trying to just make moves, get away, try to survive. Another step forward. He's so slow, though. Another head. DM should be able to seal the deal.
And honestly, what's a shame for Thunder Predator there, as they are going to call the GG here, is that fight could have been good if Lina didn't have Axe, right?
Yes.
Like that was what killed their Terrorblade. He was not ready for that.